Today, we're looking at a pretty interesting idea from a Chris Canwell YouTube video.
Oh, yeah. What's the angle?
It's this concept that giving women space, it actually restores honor and respect in a relationship.
Okay. That sounds a little counterintuitive, maybe.
It does, right? So we've got the transcript, and our mission today is really to unpack that.
Yeah.
Why would creating distance potentially reignite interest?
Got it. So let's dig into the reasoning presented in the video. Where does it start?
Okay, so it kicks off with the scenario you might recognize. A guy, his girlfriend, she's becoming less attentive.
How so? Like specific examples.
Yeah, think less eye contact, maybe scrolling her phone more when they're supposed to be on a date.
Okay. Checking messages, maybe taking calls, that kind of thing.
Exactly. That feeling when she's just not as tuned in as she was at the start, even if there hasn't been a big fight or anything.
Right. No specific problem, but the connection feels weaker.
Yeah. And the video jumps right in, framing this as a drop in honor and respect.
Interesting terminology. And it links this to a law of power.
It does. Suggesting there's this direct link between how available you are and, well, how much you're valued.
Okay, so what's the first factor they point to? The guy's behavior.
His availability. Apparently he's always there whenever she wants to meet up, always ready.
Making himself constantly accessible.
Which sounds good on the surface, maybe? Like he's prioritizing her.
But the video argues that this actually lowers his perceived value. Like, if you're always on tap, maybe your time doesn't seem as precious.
Then there's this idea of chasing.
Chasing, even after they're already, intimate.
Yeah, apparently he's still pursuing her really hard, putting in way more effort.
Okay, I can see how that might create an imbalance. We tend to value things we invest in, maybe, if one person does all the work.
Right. Now, here's where it gets a bit unexpected for me. Communication.
Okay.
The video says a 50-50 split.
Mm-hmm.
Both initiating contact equally is actually too much.
Really? Too much? That's surprising. Usually you hear about balance being key.
I know, but it proposes this 80-20 rule instead.
80-20? How does that work?
The idea is the woman should be initiating contact, reaching out, about 80% of the time.
And the man, only 20%.
Yeah. The thinking seems to be that her initiating more shows she's more invested, more interested.
So the imbalance is actually framed as a good thing here, indicating her interest level.
Seems like it. And it all ties back to this overavailability issue.
Oh, so?
Well, the argument goes that being too available, too responsive, it removes the mystery.
Predictability.
Exactly. You become predictable. And that predictability can cause her interest to fade. Her mind starts to wander.
That makes some psychological sense, right? We're often drawn to novelty, the unknown. Too much familiarity can sometimes dampen excitement.
So the proposed fix in the video.
Let me guess. Bring back some space.
You got it. Induce space to restore that honor and respect.
And is there any backing for this? Does the presenter mention sources?
Briefly, he mentions his book, Atomic Attraction. Says based on 40 case studies and over 100 scientific studies. Plus he offers consultations, that sort of thing.
Okay, so there's some context for where the idea comes from.
Right. So for you listening, the core takeaway from this perspective is, if you feel things cooling off, maybe intentionally creating some distance, shifting that pursuit dynamic, it might help reignite things. According to this video, anyway.
It definitely gives you something to think about. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
About what?
Well, just how much do those principles of perceived value and scarcity, things we see everywhere else, really play out in our relationships?
Could absence, or at least less presence, actually make the heart grow fonder in this specific way?
Yeah, something to mull over.